Next year's Otago University Students Association President has been elected. Laura Harris is the successful candidate and she's here to tell us about her plans in the role. Good evening and congratulations.
Thank you.
Why did you run for President?
I believe OUSA is a vehicle that can provide a lot of positive change in the lives of students, and that I have a lot of leadership skills that I believe can drive a team to make those changes.
What do you think are the main issues that are facing students?
Some of the issues are around national representation at the moment, so that's things like the 7Fs cap and the student allowances for students.
How do you plan to address those issues?
Several different ways, including a lot of active campaigns and unifying the student voice so that the government know that it is something that we care strongly about and that we'd like to see change.
What else are you hoping to achieve in this role?
We've got several smaller service policies that we'd quite like to see happen, so that's things like flu vaccinations, free graduation photos for students and a 24/7 study space.
You've held some other positions at the OUSA?
Yes, yeah, I was the education officer last year, and I've also managed the AUOK program for the last 2 years and been involved in it for 4.
How do you feel that you've made a difference already?
I think particularly in terms of the campaign, we've really inspired students to realise that we do care about their voice and that we are willing to engage on a student personal level to make those changes happen.
Yeah. What do you think are some of the OUSA's biggest challenges next year?
Probably the 7Fs cap is the biggest one. It's been such an ongoing issue and struggle for medical students and a lot of postgraduate students alike. And that is something that we'll be fighting really hard to see change within the span of a year.
Can you give us a bit of background into that?
So the 7Fs cap is 7 equivalent full-time study points, which means that once students breach that point, they can no longer get student allowance or a student loan to cover their degree, which means that postgraduate medical students that enter at a postgraduate level are all of a sudden cut off when they get to their final year of study, which means that they leave without any degree or qualification, or they have to front up $15,000 to afford that degree.
Is there anything that the OUSA needs to improve on?
OUSA already provides several fantastic services for students and it provides many events that also are really beneficial to student life, but there are things that my executive believe that we can add to OUSA's agenda and hopefully see implemented, just new, more current ideas.
How do you feel about the OUSA cutting ties with the National Union?
When OUSA removed its membership from NZUSA, it was done so with the proviso that another unified system would be put in its place. That hasn't happened yet, and so the issue we now face is OUSA having no national voice in that sphere, which isn't okay, and that is something we'd like to see change.
Next year is not too far away. What are you most excited about in taking on that role?
I'm really excited that the students have voted so much of my team in from the Real Change team, so we got 8 out of 9 positions. So I'm really looking forward to working with my team and the other members on that executive to make these changes. So it's working with those people that I think is what I'm most looking forward to.
Tell us a wee bit about your team and Real Change. What's the idea there?
So it is, we're all unified with the same bigger idea goals. So that is things like the national representation, 7Fs cap, but then also everyone individually knows what they're getting into with the executive. They've been briefed on what OUSA is like and how to work within it. It is very difficult when it comes to being a new executive member and you've only got a year span to learn everything you need to know and to be able to make those changes. So I think because we're unified and we're all on the same page, we will be able to make a change quicker, hopefully, than previous executives may have been able to because of that unity.
And on a different note, and because you're a student, how do you feel, or what do you make of the threat of a shooting on campus tomorrow?
Yeah, so obviously I can't comment in my capacity as President-elect, but as a student, any threat that comes in like that is concerning. However, I am quite reassured by the communication the university have had with us. I've received an email and I've received a text message from them saying what's going on and how to keep in touch and how to know what's going on. But yeah, it is concerning, but I'm quite okay with going forward.
OUSA President-elect Laura Harris, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.